Hey everybody, it's your girl, the Cyn Show, and yes, I am back with another episode. I know, I'll get it together. Anyways, guys, this situation is just literally the gift that just keeps on giving. And honey, I am here for it. Now, I did not pop the popcorn. It was a late day, so I did manage to have a really good dinner, but I have managed to get my water, honey, because we need to stay hydrated throughout this situation, honey, more like a situation that is still going on with our fair dear government and Mr. PM himself. I obviously could not get no sleep last night because only because the like guys, the tea that was being spilled was in it was a lot. It was a lot. So I put together another compilation of videos that I'm going to react to with you guys. And before I do, I have to say that one of the videos that I am using was from the CBC. Now, when I woke up this morning, I found that a few content creators have already expressed their gripes. I'm not even going to say gripes. I think it's just like people were pissed because this really kind of challenges the whole free speech and copyright rights that we have as content creators to use certain sources so that we can bring these topics to you guys in our own way. Um, for instance, I believe it was last night, I started noticing some videos that were coming from the Northern Perspective, who I had recently subscribed to. Shout out to you guys. You guys are kind of like the ones who right now who just kind of put it in me to really start doing some commentary. Since I've started being on YouTube, you guys have seen me push a lot of fragrance videos and like let's go shopping and shit. But I still I live here, okay? I pay taxes too, baby. And I watch other things and I do other things. And so this is just something that I wanted to try out and to do. And lo and behold, I really do like it. But I think that's the thing that they do too. They like what they do too, because let's be honest, the news is kind of really boring and sometimes it sucks. Nobody really wants to hear the news spoken about, certain topics that way, which is the reason why you guys come to certain channels like not myself, like Northern Perspective, like Portuguese Pie, like Make Canada Great Again. These are just all these amazing Canadian channels or sorry, Canadian content creators who have been talking about these issues and who have or may have not, which I think maybe they did not, because what I'm saying is they have not used CBC as their source when they were doing their commentary, right? A majority of these content creators have been pulling their resources from Parley View, which is the Parliament streaming, I think, it's streaming service that they have up there. Excuse me, and that is free for everybody, including CBC. So CBC, don't come for me, honey. I am only 36 subscribers, honey. I'm small. Don't play with me, okay? Don't play with me. I'm just saying. Let me serve the tea. Okay, and so the tea that we are watching today, because obviously I pulled this stuff and I did this whole compilation late last night before I started to notice that CBC was doing the motherfuckers. was was Kevin O'Leary, honey. Kevin O'Leary, honey. If y'all don't know who Kevin O'Leary is, Google, Google, Google. I'll just give you high key, low level, high level about this nigga. Kevin O'Leary is a Canadian business entrepreneur, a huge guy, big deal. You might have seen him on Shark Tank with some other entrepreneurs. The lady with the red hair, I think she's also Canadian. Love her style. That woman's got amazing style, by the way, and love her hair. And so he has come and on to CBC and he has expressed his concerns about the PM. And that is something that we are going to watch tonight and react to clearly, along with another news source that I have found where I was just like, wow, like this, who's basically talking about Trump trolling the PM. And I mean, Trump has been trolling everybody if you really think about it. Because when this man comes and Big Bad Wolf comes in January, honey, it's gonna be honey, get your popcorn, get your tea, get your everything, get your beef jerky, get your turkey, because it's gonna be that kind of year. Okay, we're all gonna be here. Watching it all. It's gonna be a very busy year, 2025. So let's kind of get into it. if we shall. And let me know if you also kind of like the thumbnail. I am checking out and doing different kind of things. I got some things on the go.
Well, there's lots of talk about including the fallout of Freeland's departure and the future of U.S.-Canada trade. So I want to bring in someone who's no stranger to trade on both sides of the border. Kevin O'Leary is chairman of the O'Leary Ventures. He joins us now from Tucson, Arizona. Kevin, welcome back to the program.
Kevin looks like he's got a whole thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's start with your take here. You've been a vocal critic of Justin Trudeau as a Canadian entrepreneur. What do you make of the fallout here over the departure of Chrystia Freeland?
First of all, Freeland was the worst finance minister Canada's ever had. She's never run a financial institution. She started as a journalist. I'm sure she's a nice person, but that budget she just delivered gives you an idea of how incompetent she is. It's good she's gone.
Oh my God. Okay, so you see how he just came right. He didn't even give a damn. He's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, Now I gotta keep it a thou wow. Let's keep it a buckaroony, boo. That is true. That is true. And that actually had me low-key thinking, because I actually heard that a few days ago, and another news source who had also said the same thing about Chrystia Freeland and how what her whole step up game has been in her career and how she got to where she's gotten to. And I said to myself, damn, this girl was a news editor. Guys, she was basically almost like one of us. She was a content creator. If you low-key think about it, Homegirl was like a content creator who all of a sudden had a dream, just like all of us probably had a dream. And low-key, she became not just the deputy prime minister, but also the finance minister, the same chick who's, messing with our dollars. I said, damn, it's just given, hey, when you are in the right spaces, you never know when you might get that tap, tap. What's up, Jack? I got a job for you. Feel me? Okay, let's continue. But low-key, I wouldn't want to be that, in the kind of situation where she's in right now, because girl, for you to be the most hated right now, baby, not me. I digress.
But she's not the real problem. It's Trudeau. I don't know if you've looked at any number you'd like to measure in the last 9 years. GDP per capita, capital flows out of Canada, the growth of the Canadian economy stalled out, the deficit, just this last horrific budget. I mean, I don't recall in my professional life seeing a collapse like this. That's why the Canadian dollar is in free fall. Right. It's Justin Trudeau and his policies. And remember, we have to celebrate the fact, if you want to talk about longevity, he's been very successful as a prime minister.
Right.
And he did it all without any executional skills. Now, the Canadian people pay the price.
Because who was executing? Who was helping him? Let's be honest, everybody had help. Somebody has helped this man for 8 years. You feel me? And it was working. It's been working. And now all of a sudden come 2025, 12 days to Christmas or whatever. It's done, hun. It's given it's time to go. It's time to clock out for me, honey. Okay?
And it's just horrific what's happening to the country. Unbelievable mess.
Okay, it's embattled at home, mocked abroad. Kevin, Trudeau and Canada now becoming the target of U.S. President Donald Trump's roasts here. How does Canada manage this relationship with what is an unpredictable U.S. leader?
Well, let's talk about why this is happening to Trudeau and why he is embarrassing Canada so much. As you recall, in Trump's first mandate, both Freeland and Trudeau bashed Trump almost every day they could, thinking he would never come into power. He is a relationship guy. He doesn't...
Pause. And so I got to just pause it, because low-key, that is a fact. That dude is relationships guy. And if I think about it low-key, that is just how America is. When we really look at America, America is nothing but a huge corporation, straight up. And when I think about Canada in comparison to America, we are like the non-for-profit for the corporation of America. Can't believe it, but low-key, let me know how you feel about that, because that's just the way I'm starting to see it, which is kind of sad. Maybe this is the reason why the guy's just straight up mocking, because he's looking at our whole space and saying, y'all have all this land, y'all have all this. Why don't we just merge and become one? Why? It's like, nigga, you ain't Thanos. You ain't got time to be collecting all these jams up in here. You know what I'm saying? However, this is just how he rolls. And if you think about it, that's what makes him who he is. People like his energy. People like the way he talks. He's a negotiator. He's a businessman. He's a real estate. He's that dude. And that is not Justin. Justin is not that. Feel me? Justin, I feel like is more of this, I'd like to, I don't, he's a great face for commercials, for, for things like this. Like, but really, who really is respecting him as much as they respect Trump? Who really respected Freeland as much as they respect, you know, Harris? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, when I think about it, it is all about relationship building. And that's really how that's the kind of power leader that you want, a guy who knows how to maintain good relationships. You know what I mean? Within and without, outside and inside, outside of the family, inside the family. You feel me? Let's continue.
Respect or like Trudeau. You've said so much in the last 2 or 3 days, as well as Freeland, who he despises from NAFTA 2 negotiations. She's gone. He would love to get rid of Trump. And I think he's doing a good job embarrassing every Canadian internationally with what he's doing with all of this social media. And Trump realizes that he won't be negotiating NAFTA 3 with Trudeau. Trudeau's going to be gone one way or another. And that's a very good thing for Canada. Canadians want to see their dollar free fall. How long?
Yeah.
How long do they want to lose the value of their passport and the Canadian brand in places like Egypt, India, and China, where they don't even let us in anymore without a visa? Right. Trudeau has done unbelievable damage to Canada over the last 9 years. Every Canadian has almost a moral obligation, regardless of where they come from or what their religion is or what party they're associated with, to get rid of this man. He is damaging the country, and I can't wait personally. I do everything I can every day. I broadcast all over the world talking about how weak he is as a leader and how important it is he must go. I'm doing my part. Every Canadian should ask themselves, what are we doing to get rid of this guy?
Oh, goodness. This is just so disheartening. It's just so disheartening. It's so disheartening. Because, guys, let's be honest. Like I said, if you I have voted Liberal for a long time. It's like since I started voting. I'm in my 40s, so it's been a child. I'm just gonna say I've been voting, okay? And I think for the first time in a long time, I'm looking at this situation as, this is like the lesser of two evils. Which one do you want to go for? There was a time back in those days, I'm talking, when I say back in those days, I'm referencing to my mother, okay? And every time I bring up PC, she's like, Mike Harris, so, not even Stephen Harper, but Mike Harris. Like these two people they left their imprint. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. They left an imprint on the Canadian heritage, on our society, and it left us to believe that the PCs were, not for immigrants, not for proper social justice, not for this, not for that. They were private health care, which I think they still are. But when we look at this situation, we were kind of okay with the leader that we had because, hey, we were, as immigrants, and we were all getting a good benefit as being part of the Liberal Party. Now, for the first time in a long time, we're looking at, because there's such a changing of the guards that's happening in our in the southern states right there. We realize we have to have a powerful leader, more powerful than Trump, or at least not powerful, at least than somebody who can fuck with the nigga.com. Let's be, excuse me, let's be honest. Can you fuck with this nigga? Because honestly, that's really what it's coming down to. Dude was right. Olivier was right when he's like, we need a strong person, a strong leader to go into 2025 with. This man is already calling us out. he called this out by putting out those tariffs. And the way he did that, he was like, yo, I've done seeing the way how you guys have your borders opened up and you're allowing all this ish to go back and forth and allowing all these drugs to enter and you're not really doing too much at the border and blah 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 blah. That's the reason why I'm putting this out there. In a way, it's giving like, did he do this? Did Trump do this to call people's bluff? Let's just be honest, because I'm very sure he doesn't want to do this, but it's obviously getting people shooken in their boots. And I think low key, none of them really want this. Nobody wants to really be the cleanup person after this is said and done. Come 2025, nobody really wants this. But let's continue.
What should Canadians do to handle Trump, though, Kevin? Because we know Trump is a bombastic leader. He's someone who respects, as you said, relationships, also someone who respects what he perceives as strength. So what can Canada do, and what should Canada do as we face what could be increasingly more and more, it certainly looks like, an impending trade war?
Get a new leader now. If we want to compete with Trump, and believe me, he doesn't want to impose tariffs, not on energy or anything else. We're two big trading partners, particularly the states on the border themselves. You ask any governor or senator on a border state, they don't want this trade war. But we need a leader. And right now, I think what's going to happen, regardless of who they put in place to replace Trudeau, the Liberal Party is damaged. It has been very poor. Even liberals now understand they're going to be decimated in the next election. So I don't know whether it'll be a full majority mandate for the Conservatives or whether it'll be a minority, but it doesn't matter. We need new leadership to start negotiating with Trump every day. And then, of course, in this very important NAFTA 3 negotiation, which we're going to be facing quite soon. So it's really about Pierre Poilievre. Will he get elected and when? And will he get a majority mandate? And it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just you got to replace Trudeau. I mean, I'm here in Arizona. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. And I'm tired of it. And every Canadian should be the same way. They think this whole Trudeau thing with Trump is a joke.
Kevin, is there not a concern also, though, that Poilievre could bring about a protectionist measures, and that could also create some issues?
It can't get any worse. So think of it this way. I've talked to him, as many business and investors have. His mandate is 1, get rid of the carbon tax. Number 2, create an environment where capital wants to come back to Canada, because the outflow of Canada, including our own pension funds, has dropped by almost 70%. Our competitiveness against the G20 bottom quartile. And then just before Freeland quit, or whatever she did, she proposed corporate capital gains tax that would have blown us to pieces against the competitiveness of the United States. She must have assumed that Harris was going to get in at a 28% tax rate, but now we're talking 15 to 21, and she's proposing 32. That'll decimate capital formation in Canada. Everything about the Trudeau mandate and the Liberal Party has been wrong, and you can measure it any way you want. If you're a Liberal, you should vote for anybody except Trudeau. And I think, unfortunately, that party is going to spend, 4 or 5 years in the penalty box. Too bad. And that's why Carney is not taking that job. He's not crazy. He'll end up in the opposition, which is the definition of living hell in Webster's dictionary.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Nobody wants to be the cleanup. Nobody wants to be the cleanup at this time, because this is a telling time. Who really wants to have to deal with this ish? Because what if it wasn't what we thought? You know what I mean? Like, could have been, they both could have just had a whole book of promises, a whole book of promises. I just thought about 3LW, but I ain't going to go there.
That poor guy, he's not stupid. No one's going to take that job. What should happen is Trudeau should lead his troops into the valley of death and take the hit. And then the country can fix itself. It's time for him to find a new job. I have no idea what that's going to be, because I won't be hiring him. He put a candy store bankrupt in 2 days.
Kevin, we appreciate your insights, your time as well. Thank you so much. Kevin O'Leary is the chairman of O'Leary Ventures.
Wow. Guys, like, that is the gag. That is the gag, man. We are looking at people, they are begging. Again, what was it, like 58% of Canadians want a new They want an election. They want him gone. Then you've got these investors. You've got, man, it's this is some sad days. This is some sad days. But let's take a look at this other video and see what's the tea, because again, you've got Trump out here, pretty much. Sorry, I was like, what the hell? You got Trump out here pretty much putting it out there, talking about Canada becoming the 51st state. Like, guys, I'm not really trying to be a part of America like that. I think that's some of the reasons why I love it here. I have family who is down there, and it's tough, baby. I love my old hip honey. I ain't finna lie, boo. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is kind of sucking a lot how much the guns have, not to say that they've never been there, but the influx of guns that have been coming into the country. This is one of the reasons. That's why I'm saying, like, do you think maybe Trump put this out there to call a motherfucker's bluff and be like, yo, get your shit together? Like, get your shit together. I want to go into 2025 with leaders who know what they're doing type shit. And if you don't, then I'm gonna throw this on your ass. What do you think? Let's continue. Let's continue.
Donald Trump has hilariously trolled Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau once again, but this time it's so much worse because Trudeau is battling through the toughest time of his career, with calls from all sides to step down intensifying. Donald Trump wheeled out his favourite line, again referring to the Prime Minister as the governor of the great state of Canada in a post on X. He said, "The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. Her behaviour was..."
And she was fired via Zoom. And what's up with that? Okay, what? It's like the audacity for you to do this via Zoom. Okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe for some of y'all, you don't mind being fired on Zoom. At least you ain't got to go into the office and then suffer all of that energy while you're in there. I get it. But a shock is still a shock, honey. A shock is still a motherfucking shock. Okay, let's continue. And them saying she will not be missed. Listen, I'm not trying to attest or contest that, she was a sweetheart. I have my own little personal gripes about the girl myself, but child, I digress. Let's go.
Totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals which are good for the very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. Online commentators went wild over the post, with this person saying, "Trump is treating Canada like the non-serious country it is. The world is laughing at Trudeau." This commentator doubled down, saying US President Donald Trump is 100% correct that Chrystia Freeland was totally toxic and will not be missed by the very unhappy citizens of Canada.
No one.
Freeland was a head-bobbling evil troll who froze the bank accounts of freedom-loving Canadians and ruined Canada's finances. And commentators are also applauding Trump for involving himself in Canada's politics, which is forcing change on a local level despite him being in an entirely different country.
Now, this is very exciting because if Trudeau does indeed go down, it's going to lead to elections where Conservatives are highly likely to romp it in. And it's very interesting, Gabby.
Why I'm laughing, guys, because I'm just like, it's giving the whole thing we just saw in the States with Republicans against Democrats, my G. Straight the F up. This is literally what it's saying. It's saying Republican energy is now the new dominant source right now. And that's what Canada's going to have to be in order for us to have a nice, cohesive year ahead. We can't, they can't, it can't be what it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Catch it. If you don't catch it, let me know. But if you do, let's talk about it in the comment section, because I'm just like, is this really what it's coming down to, guys? Feel me? And again, lesser of two evils. Like, yeah.
Because this came about with his finance minister because she and he had a disagreement about Trump saying, I'm going to slap 25% tariffs on all goods coming from Canada unless you guys get your border under control and stop trafficking drugs and people. Thank you very much. So she had a falling out with him. So we can actually thank Trump for what looks like deposing a useless leader in his neighboring country.
Yeah, and we've heard from Trump as well. He's come out, of course, trolling in true Trump style, calling Justin Trudeau Governor Justin Trudeau. But it's funny because Justin Trudeau just a couple of weeks ago was calling himself a feminist and saying how sad it was that America rejected electing a female president not once but twice. And then here he is having a bout with his female finance.
And the thing is, homie, it had nothing to do with that in the end, child. Like, yes, we did see that the whole situation was against women's rights and their bodies, but if we really think about it, this is just people who are sick and tired of being fucked up. These were just people who were sick and tired of having the carrot dangled in their face. And it's going to be the same situation. Actually, it is actually the same situation that is happening up in here on both sides of the full continent. People are tired of the carrot being dangled in their face. That's just really what it is. You can go ahead and call it what, if you want to be a feminist, sir, fine. But boo, if you really think about it, like, you got bricks happening, and it's like, you can't act like you're not feeling that that's not going to hurt us. This is, I think, another reason why Trump is doing what he's trying to do, because he realizes, I got all these people who I used to F with. Now they don't want to F me like that because of what happened with Biden. This is why they're saying he's a relationship man. He's going to do everything in his freaking power to, I swear to God, I bet you any money to dismantle BRICS so that he can get back those relationships again. Get back on the good graces with Russia. Get back in his good graces with China, with India. Hello. Let's continue.
But, I think this is the Trump effect in action happening that we're seeing over in Canada as well, because Justin Trudeau is just being known as being a woke leader.
This commentator agreed, saying Donald Trump is the voice of the Canadian people. Donald Trump's humiliation is only the latest in a string of unfortunate events for Canadian Prime Minister in recent times. Rumours of his likely resignation are swirling, and he is under intense pressure from his party and opposition at the moment. It seems like the entire country is against their Prime Minister, with Trudeau being heckled on the street yesterday.
I give you the right to see it, guys. Like, okay, guys. Stand up. Thank you. Your father's integrity, he wants to stop. To prove this country. They've all left you. It's time for you to go. It's time for Canada to have elections. You're not the king.
You see how he bring up his daddy? Damn shame he brought up his father like that. Damn shame he brought up his father, because his father was. You can't. Those was big shoes to fill, boo. Big shoes. But like I said in my last video, sometimes I low-key think, I'm like, listen, we all know, if you guys kind of know a little bit about Justin's life, he didn't really have the greatest relationship with his father. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think to myself, man, are we the ones who are suffering because of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, when I mean by suffering, it's like he's still in his own way trying to prove to his dad, like, I got this. In fact, I got it better than you. I got it better than you. And I didn't even have to be like you. I can't believe I just said that, but I have to, because low-key, guys, he's an actor. He used to be a teacher. There's a lot of empathy here with this man. And anyway, I digress. I don't want to keep, let me just keep playing the video.
Cyn News host Kayla Bond doubled down on this, saying good riddance to bad rubbish, signalling the end of the woke leaders.
the proud feminist Bronwyn pushing the women out of his cabinet. But this suggestion now that he might go before the next election, good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a socialist.
Oh, yes.
Through and through, and they always tell us. So you don't have to worry. But the really interesting thing is that his coalition partner, which he depends upon, the leader of that party, I think it's called the New Democratic Party, has called for him to resign. There is a call for an election to be held over Christmas. That's how bad it is. But the leader of the opposition in Canada is very strong. He is coming out as strong, and I think he will clearly win that next election, whether it's held over Christmas because his own people throw him out, or whether they have to wait until the new year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one way or another he's going, but one by one, Stephen, these woke leaders are just slowly falling off. We got rid of Biden, got rid of Kamala. Apparently she's going to have another go. I'll get to that a bit later. Trudeau's
God help the Democrat Party.
I know.
Look, I think it's actually more interesting than at the moment. I mean, you can point to Trudeau.
Right.
You can move to the Conservatives in Germany, which government's in meltdown. You can talk about Macron in France in meltdown. Keir Starmer only just won the election in meltdown. We've seen Japan just go through a leadership change, and South Korea impose martial law for 6 hours. So I actually think if you look across the Western democratic world, you're actually seeing quite an extraordinary set of circumstances around leadership and strong leadership.
But Dalhousie University political analyst Laurie Turnbull says Trudeau's saviour complex will not allow him to leave without a fight.
Right.
To see whether he actually steps aside.
Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? The whole savior complex, like, it's almost like he's basically saying to his dad in spirit, yo, I got this and I did it better than you, and I didn't have to be like you. I didn't have to be like you. And yet he won't leave because he still feels like he's got more to prove. And who is he trying to prove it to? Because it's not like we Canadians, we don't child, all of us is we over here, and we doing our own thing. We just trying to wait. Well, ain't nobody checking for you like this. Nobody's checking. Okay, let's continue.
Because if somebody else is going to take over, they need some time. This party has been totally remade in Justin Trudeau's image. When he became the leader in 2013, the party was at the lowest point that it had ever been. It was at 34 seats in the House of Commons, which was, more awful than any Liberal thought was possible at the time.
Bueno.
And then he came in 2 years later, won a majority government with 184 seats.
Wow.
And so this was no wonder he has a savior complex, because this is a pretty unusual situation. But since then, his, like it will for anybody, right? His brand has tarnished a bit. People can only have so much political capital, and he's lost a lot of his. And so I think now for a lot of people, he's at the end of the road, but he doesn't seem to grasp that. And so he's not making a space available for somebody else to come in and take over.
There we go. The rose-colored
There you go. All right. Great to get a wrap of things. Laurie Turnbull, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
That is from Sky News. So like I said, the rose-colored glasses are off, okay? And I don't know who said it, but we're looking at the whole Western, the government, like it's a changing of the guards. And there is a big difference now between leadership and powerful leadership. And it seems like whatever is coming around a corner, honey, whatever is coming around a corner for 2025, y'all, is requiring a strong ass leader. Okay? Because ain't nobody got time for the bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye is what everybody will be giving. Hey, that's all I have to say in this video, guys. Let me know what you think about it. I am going to come up with another video on this other compilation that I'm doing with AI, because you guys know the girl loves to be nosy in the AI, but not nosy enough to die. Okay. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments about what you think Kevin O'Leary has to say. Do you think all of his points are valid? And also some of the other commentators who you saw in the Sky News, Australia, what did they have to say? Did you also believe that what they had to say is valid? And what I just said about Canada versus United States and how we are being seen, it's like we are the not-for-profit for the corporation of America. And maybe this is the reason why, honey, it's not given, it's given a little change. I don't want to have to do a little something strange, a little change, but seems like that's the kind of thing that they're trying to say about us, baby. And that's not what we have time for. So that's all I got to say for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your evening, your morning, whenever you decided to watch this video. I'll holler at you. Bye.